digital. Jaguars digital. Jaguars drive time. Brian Sexton, John Oehser, Ashlyn Sullivan. Jaguars drive time starts right now.
No, I've never been a part of any competition in practice, the week of a game. So it's definitely unique. But we just have to do our job, and that's to go out there and play to the best of our ability and, leave those decisions to the decision maker. So it's a unique situation. It's been a unique year. So, kind of a lot's come up this year that I don't think any of us kind of saw coming.
Yesterday, head coach Doug Marrone did not name a starting quarterback. He said he's going to leave it up to Mike Glennon and Gardner Minshew to win the job this week at practice and going to go all the way up to Saturday's practice to make a decision on who's going to start on Sunday against the Chicago Bears. Not a position you want to be in, and John, I have a feeling that's why Trevor Lawrence has dominated the conversation this week, is this is not a situation you want to be in week 16 of the season around Christmas, and you don't know who your quarterback is.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm not sure Doug does either. When you don't have a quarterback week 16, they didn't have one week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Now that this has happened, I fully expect Glennon to start. I don't know what I forget who said it. It may have been Jay Gruden yesterday. Sort of gave it away a little bit. He said, realistically, nobody's going to win the job with their first rep in team period 1. They're going to go back and look. They're going to look at the games that have been played and try to figure out who gives them the best chance. I don't think they were, as a group, thrilled on field with how Gardner played last week, especially in the first half. I would expect Glennon, but, whichever.
Right, Brian. If it was Gardner, it wouldn't be in this conversation. So it seems like they'll go with Mike Glennon, but I know you're in the same boat. Does it matter the next 2 weeks?
No, I'm not. I'm in a different boat. Merry Christmas. No, I'm in a different boat. Merry Christmas to both of you. From my workshop to you and to yours and to everyone who's watching, since we won't be on tomorrow.
Bah, humbug!
I would be depressed about the Jaguars right now if they weren't in a position to change it all in April. I'm not even going to pay attention to who the quarterback is on Sunday. I don't care. Ashlyn, can you play? Can you drop back from center? I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I can.
This franchise is in the unique position of suffering through a miserable season, but with the light, to use a Christmas analogy, the star leading to the draft, right, to show us the way. There is an answer to the misery. There is peace in the football world coming for Jaguars fans, right? And we just have to wait. John said he has no answers. I have no answers, for goodness sakes. The only answer I've had is since the day that they let Fournette go, and I said, well, this probably means they're tanking for Trevor. And of course, no one is going to admit that was ever the thought. But they're in a position right now, so peace on earth, goodwill to men in the Jaguars world. Get that quarterback, and we won't even remember that. We won't even remember this game.
Yes, it would be a lovely Christmas gift under the tree, and Merry Christmas Eve, and Merry Christmas from our Drive Time family to you. Thanks for sticking with us all season long as we get into a game preview presented by Simply IOA. Number 1, run the ball. It's been number 1 for the past, 7 weeks. Neither quarterback, whether it's Mike Glennon or Gardner Minshew, can succeed if he doesn't have a running game to slow down Khalil Mack and company. The big question is for the Jaguars running back. Is he playing? Question mark.
We're gonna rest him today. We'll come back tomorrow and do some stuff with him. And that's just, he wants to practice. That's a coach's decision. You know what I'm saying? That we're just keeping him back because today is just a lot of walkthroughs. So he wants to play. So we'll get him out there on Thursday, see how he runs around. He's not limping, not doing anything like that. I feel good talking to him that he's going to play.
If it is up to James Robinson, he will be on the field Sunday playing against the Chicago Bears. Number 2 is Make Mitchell. Trubisky can be good and he can be bad. Lately, he's been good. Pressure makes him bad. Defensive line. If you're listening, this is a way that you can get ahead on the Chicago Bears is pressure this guy. We've had comparisons all week from Mitchell Trubisky to Blake Bortles. So he's been heating up lately, but if you pressure him, you can force him into some mistakes. Number 3, special teams. Something we haven't been talking about lately, but obviously an important part to every game. Neither the offense or the defense has been able to carry this team. We know that. Special teams gives them a chance. Against the Packers, we saw it. It could be the difference on Sunday. You go back up to Big Thing 1, James Robinson, and Brian, you heard Coach Marone saying that if it's up to him, he will play, and credit to him because it could be very easy right now to sit down and nurse that injury, and credit to him if he's injured, but it sounds like no matter what, he wants to play.
Well, there's a difference, as most people know, between hurt and injured. If you're hurting, generally football players want to try to play through that. I mean, pain is just part of playing pro football, especially in December, especially when you've lost 13 in a row. But if you're injured, you might. This is where not having a general manager looking out for the long term. Although I'm not trying to insinuate that Doug isn't, but looking out for the long term and saying, this guy's our guy. He showed us this year that we've got something here. Let's, if the ankle's even a real issue, let's not play this guy. We'll see. If he's just hurt, I would imagine he plays. If there's any injury there, I would imagine he doesn't.
Yes, John, you see both sides of that, and I looked back the other day. I was looking at the roster for some reason. I looked at the injured reserve list, and it is guys that we haven't seen in so long that honestly I kind of have forgotten about because we haven't talked about them in so long. Someone like a CJ Henderson or Josh Allen we haven't seen in weeks. It's crazy to look at this list, but those are guys like Brian said when you mentioned a general manager. Obviously they're safe. Obviously they're going to stay here. So you wonder if James Robinson, is it worth the risk almost?
Yeah, I mean, it'll also be up to him because everything that makes him this guy that you love, if you love football, you love James Robinson because he plays hard, he does things the right way, wants to be out there. The game clearly, I haven't had a chance to get to know him, but you can sort of tell by what people say, the game means everything to him. So he's going to want to be out there. I trust the trainers on this. I know a lot of the trainers, they're going to give Doug the best advice. If he's not hurt, he'll play. I think Doug, you've kind of seen the last couple of weeks, they've lessened his workload a little bit. He's been beat up. Doug's going to have, he's not going to run the kid into the ground if he thinks he's hurt. So I would expect fewer carries from James Robinson, although I expect him to play.
Absolutely. And we look at the Chicago Bears, and in Big Thing 2, we mentioned Mitchell Trubisky, who has definitely been heating up. And Brian, that's basically the main reason that the Chicago Bears are heating up is when he plays good, the Bears play good. When he plays bad, they struggle. But he's been heating up, and their backs are against the wall, 7 wins, and they need a win to get into the playoffs. And that's not a team you want to face in December.
Well, you choose your word. A caretaker quarterback, a system quarterback, a game manager, right? The Bears have talent on both sides of the ball, legitimate talent, in the receiving game, in the running game, rushing the passer. This is a good, solid football team, but they haven't gotten consistent quarterback play. Trubisky has come alive the last couple of weeks. They've won 2 in a row, but he has 8 touchdowns and only 3 turnovers in the last 4 games. So with him playing well, that lets guys like Allen Robinson and David Montgomery and Khalil Mack and the linebacking core, it lets those guys make plays. Look, they're a highly motivated team, and they've got their playmakers, right? Imagine if Khalil Mack wasn't on the field for them the last couple of weeks. How good would they be? Not that good. Jaguars without Josh Allen, not that good. This is Trubisky. If he comes in here and plays the game, and Todd Wash said yesterday that they were putting him in positions to succeed. They were rolling him out. They weren't asking him to stand in the pocket and throw the ball like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. They were putting him in a position to do what he does. And I expect that he'll play smart football because he knows that his chance to get another bite of the apple, so to speak, somewhere next year, if not in Chicago, rests on what he does with this opportunity.
Yes, a ton on the line for that Chicago Bears team. And John, I'll leave it up to you. How do you see this going on Sunday?
Well, I agree that Trubisky's the key. To me, if he doesn't turn it over, if the Bears don't turn it over, early, I think they win. And they may even be able to turn it over once and win. We saw that last week. The Ravens turned it over and still it was over by halftime. I think the Bears will look at the Jaguars and say, you haven't stopped the Titans. You haven't stopped the Ravens running the ball. You didn't stop Dalvin Cook in overtime. You didn't stay, you can go back a month now. Running the ball against the Jaguars when teams have committed to it has worked. It's been their Achilles heel, the Jaguars. So the Bears, 3 of the last 4 games, their running back, and I'm drawing a blank, David Montgomery, has run for 100 yards. The Bears love to throw, but I think in this game, their coaching staff looks at it and says, well, we're going to run until you stop us, and your offense is not good enough to get away from us while we're trying to do that. So that's the formula if the Bears stick to it. And if they stick to it, they'll win the game.
It's as simple as that. Chicago Bears, Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday in Jacksonville. It is Christmas Eve, and I have assigned some homework for the fellas when we come back. A Christmas letter to Santa.
Before you go.
Coming up on Jags Drive.
Hey. Before
Yes.
you go. I wanted to just point out, with Big Thing 3, to use it to say that Logan Cook, whom we've forgotten about, Pro Bowl caliber player, has had a tremendous year. And I didn't want to let this segment go without at least acknowledging he's not in the game now. I mean, he's on the COVID list. And when you're talking about your punter as one of your best players, you have not had a good season. But I thought it was worthy of us mentioning that he had been a tremendous asset for this football team this year. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, he is Pro Bowl caliber player. Coming up, Christmas letters to Santa here on Jags Drive Time.
Jags Drive Time is presented in part by TIAA Bank. Created to serve, built to perform. By Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. And Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters: Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity. Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3 to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, no, I did buy a house in Jacksonville.
So, I mean, is that a little weird for you right now, hearing that? What does that do for your mindset for these last 2 weeks?
It doesn't do anything for that. You prepare the same way, going into each game, try to do your best, and then leave decisions up to the decision makers.
The future is unknown, to say the least, for quarterback Gardner Minshew, so much so that we don't even know if he is starting on Sunday. Or will it be Mike Glennon? Lots of question marks going into the 2021 year and season. But first, Fair and Fair reminds you to continue to wear a mask. Help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Fair and Fair, protecting you and your family since 1979. We're back on Jags Drive Time on this Christmas Eve morning, and of course that means we have to get into the holiday spirit. Santa is a very busy guy today, as we all know, but we have included 3 letters that we hope get to him. Brian, what are you asking Santa this year?
Well, look, I mean, I got to set this up. You may or may not know I have a twin brother who's an attorney. And my twin brother and I competed our whole lives. He obviously won. But I would always blame him and he would always blame me. So our letters would go back and forth. You know, it was Terry's fault. It was Brian's fault. And so in the spirit of my attorney twin brother, my letter to Santa is all about the truth setting me free. So I say, Dear Santa, I haven't really been that good this year. I haven't been that nice. I haven't been that forgiving. I just haven't been that good. And anybody who tells you that they have been good, Ashlyn and John, are just lying to you. They're just telling you what you want to hear. All year long, all I tried to do on this program is, in particular, is tell people what they needed to hear about this franchise. It didn't always sit well, but the reality of it is that being honest has set me free, which is why I am so brazen and blatant as we get to the end of the year. I haven't been that good, but being honest should count for something. I'd like peace in the world, right? At the end of 2020, if you ask for anything but that, I'm not sure that you have any perspective. An end to hunger. And we have homeless here at the beach, and I see them all the time. I know you do too, Ashlyn. And there's no one in this country that should go hungry. And goodwill this year in the hearts of men and women, reaching out not to give something or take something, but to grab the hand of your neighbor, black, white, male, female, no matter what, and unite in this human experience as we come to one of the most important days in the Christian world, Christmas. Oh, and I'd like a quarterback from Clemson. Brian.
I knew that was coming. That had to be included somewhere. All right, John. I hope yours is as heartfelt as Brian's.
Though. Yeah, I'm sure
it's not. So I'll give you a heads up. I have to read it off my laptop, so I'm going to change frames here a minute. Dear Santa Claus, how are you? This is Zone. I hope you had a great year. I'm sure you did. Quarantine is kind of your thing, right? Either way, I hope the eggnog was cold and the fire was as warm as the loving arms of Mrs. Claus. Secondly, Santa, I do have a few gripes. When I wrote last year, I said real life Scout Boy Canteen, not let's go 1-13. And I said first round bye, not old man tie. Get in gear, Claus. Anyway, I've been good this year, Nikki, not like Brian. I've stopped yelling at my supporting cast, and I stopped making fun of that neighborhood lady whose lip does that thing, you know. I'm not complaining about last year either. I can't thank you enough for James Robinson and Miles Jack. That was cool. As for what I want, you old reindeer rider, well, I really don't need anything. See, as Ashlyn and Brian know, I'm a giver. I long for the happiness of those close to me. Think of me as your special little elf, Santa, a helper. Give Ashlyn something nice. And Sexton, I guess. Palm Beach girls and guys with cool brothers, well, they need love too. It's their happiness I cover. And I'm not bragging here either, you red-caped rascal. Humility, that's another one of my many strengths. But what do I really want? Can I get to the point, please? Ah, yes, Nick, man, there are a few things. I want Doug Marrone to get a win, but only if the Jets win too. And a Pro Bowl revote for Jack and Robinson? Stuff that in your stocking, Ashlyn. But I left the biggest for last, toy boy. However it happens, get me a tall, strapping quarterback with golden locks and a cannon arm. Not for me, you big-gutted bearer of joy, but for those around me, for Brian, because nothing would make him happier. And for this little elf, that would be the greatest gift of all.
Oh, John, if my twin brother had only ever been as kind to me as you just were.
Santa's little elf, what in the world? All right, John, well done, well done. So mine actually isn't from me. My friend Trevor sent me this letter in the mail to read on air because apparently he can't get in direct contact with Santa. Something weird is going on in Clemson. So this is what he wrote. Dear Santa, it's me, Trevor. We spoke last year when you gave me that sweet Apple Watch. Anyways, I hope you're hanging in there. You see, my Christmas wish already came true. Kind of. I'm really not a New York guy. The Big Apple, not for me. But you know what I do like? Beaches, warm weather, palm trees, lemon bar. Jacksonville doesn't sound so bad after all. Santa, I understand the business you see, and I ask you to do something that will make some people bad and sad, but also kind of happy. For Christmas, I would like the New York Jets to be winners. Win it all. Win the rest of the season. Because my agent, he sent me the press conference. Doug Marrone wants to win. I'm a guy that likes to make everyone happy, and you seem kind of like that guy as well, Santa. When I'm the quarterback for the Jaguars, you and I can kick back, relax, and talk about this year. How the best of both worlds aligned. A win in Jacksonville, but also a win in New York, baby. Forever yours, Trevor. Where's my applause? Anyone? Thank you. Supporting cast. Everyone did great. Letters to Santa. We know you're busy, Santa, but we hope you've heard them. When we come back, he will, he won't, he might on Jags Drive Time.
Jags Drive Time is presented in part by Dreamfinders Homes. Homes that fit your lifestyle. Next Grill. Everyone's invited. And Adecco. Visit AdeccoUSA.com.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters. Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
The best thing about working at Fair & Farah is all of the employees. We all work together. It's extremely enjoyable to come to work every day.
There's a common cause or goal. No matter what your job is, we're all there for the client.
We are dedicated to our clients 100%. We do everything it takes to maximize the value of their claims.
Fair & Farah is really the Farah family. When they choose us, they choose a family to fight for them and to protect them and to make sure that they're in a good place and that they have somebody on their side.
Farah & Farah. Here for you, here for good, Jacksonville.
We're back, Jags Drive Time, Thursday morning on this Christmas Eve, presented by Fields Auto Group, and we do not have a Friday show tomorrow because it is Christmas. So we're going to do He Will, He Won't, He Might today for Sunday's game against the Bears. So Brian, you're up.
Okay, well, I'm going with Tyler Eifert, and I'm just looking up numbers here real quick. And, you know, they weren't what I thought they might be this year. You know, only 33 catches and 2 touchdowns. But I saw a play last week, and I'm going to say he will be a threat down the middle of the field on Sunday against Chicago. You know, I in my quick thoughts after the game, I said that the Jaguars really needed to find a tight end, a guy like Mark Andrews who adjusts to the young quarterback and finds a way not only to get open, but to, you know, catch an uncatchable ball or fight off a defensive back. And Eifert is still a relatively young player. Maybe he never recovers to, you know, to be able to be that guy, but in the third quarter, I saw a play down the middle of the field where he did that for Minshew, and I thought, okay, well, maybe there's something there. So I'm going to say that he'll be a factor, no matter the quarterback, by the way, because when Mike Glennon was in the game, Glennon used the quarterbacks more efficiently than the other quarterbacks had. The tight ends were, you know, chain movers, guys who kept drives alive. So I'm going to say Eifert will be that guy. You know, he won't all of a sudden become that touchdown guy, that red zone guy, which I thought he might be. Truthfully, the Jaguars weren't in the red zone enough this year. And when they were, he wasn't a factor. So he won't be on Sunday. But he might be the Jaguars' leading receiver. He might catch 7 or 8 passes for 60, 70 yards, and 6 of those will be first downs.
Nice. I'm liking it. And key to Tyler Eifert is who will play quarterback. So, John, obviously you have to include both because we don't have an answer.
All right, bear with me here. My he will, he won't, he might is Gardner Minshew and Mike Glennon. He will start because, well, one of them has to start, right? Yeah, so he'll start. Right. He won't start. He won't start because one of them can't start. So he might, I don't know. I mean, it's the quarterback. I don't know what these guys will do, but, it might not be really good because so far the quarterback play hasn't elevated anything. So I don't know what they might do, Brian. They might win and the Jets might win and everything might be okay. Merry Crema.
Merry Crema. You put a lot of thought into that, I see. Very nice, John. He will, he won't,
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Is Keelan Cole, wide receiver Keelan Cole, will have something to prove these next 2 weeks, showing that new general manager and the rest of the NFL, it's time to pay me. Contract year and Mr. New General Manager, if you don't see my potential, then I'm playing for another NFL team to notice. Keelan Cole, a lot on the line for him as he gets ready for a contract year and wants to put good tape out the next 2 weeks. He won't tell you that, though. He won't gloat about it, he won't be arrogant about it, and he won't say that's what he's doing. We all know that's what he's doing, and it's in his best interest to do so, to have 2 great games to end the season. He might finish the year with 7 touchdowns. Right now, he has 5. Could he get 1 this week, 1 next week, maybe 2 this week? I don't know everything, but I'm calling it. The man will have 7 touchdowns to end the year. And then, Brian, the question is, do you pay him here? Do you pay him what he wants? Do you meet in the middle, or do you go somewhere else if you're Keelan Cole? It's a lot of question marks around that guy this offseason.
Well, there's a better than average chance that he ends up coming back here, and that's not knowing, who's going to be the coach or the general manager or any of that, only because we expect the salary cap to go backwards because of this year and lost revenue. It only takes one team to fall in love with a guy and make a big offer, and then you decide, well, I'm going to pass because I don't want to pay him that. But he might not get that big offer this year because so many teams will be struggling to keep their own players. So he may be back here on a short-term deal to help a young quarterback. We'll see what happens. Again, all of that is just speculation because we don't know who's going to be making the decision. But there's a chance.
Right. There is a chance, and that is he will, he won't, he might. When we come back, pick one and pick it going into this NFL weekend coming up on Jags Drive Time.
You can step up to luxury now.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. Whatever you're driving, you can step up to luxury now. Plus, get our Fields amenities, which include complimentary loaners, car washes, and our cafes.
Make this your year to step up to luxury at Fields Cadillac, Mercedes-Benz, Porsche, Land Rover, Jaguar, and Lexus. When it comes to the ultimate car buying experience, there's only one name that matters: Fields. And Fields matters because you matter. The Fields Auto Group, proud partners of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
At VyStar, we believe in better convenience, so members can bank any way they want, whether it's at a branch, on a mobile device, or at one of more than 20,000 fee-free ATMs across North America. We believe that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join VyStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Jaguars fans, Brian Sexton here. I've discovered something that will take your tailgates to the next level this football season: Bernie Grills. You've never seen anything like these portable all-wood grills. Bernie's are convenient, affordable, and simple to use, with no messy cleanup. Bernie's real alder wood flavor makes burgers and brats taste delicious. I grilled some steaks on mine the other night, and they were incredible. So get your Bernie Grill for the next game at BernieGrill.com or at Amazon. Bernie Grill. Light. Grill. Done.
We're back. Jags Drive Time, Thursday morning, brought to you by the Fields Auto Group as we get ready for a Merry, Merry Christmas. But before that, we have to preview this weekend in the NFL. Brian, you're up first, as always.
This is real simple. Just embracing the petty. Hope that the Seahawks deal the Rams another glancing blow and push the Rams and hence the Jaguars' second first-round pick into a higher spot. Go Seahawks. This one's in Seattle. Seattle's been winning. This will be fun to watch. Should be a good game. Hope Jalen gives up a long touchdown.
Go Seahawks. We're petty here on Jags Drive Time, and we love it. John, what are you looking at?
Yes.
I didn't know what game you gave me.
What do you mean you don't know what game I gave you?
Oh, yeah, Dolphins
and Raiders.
I'm sorry. Well, it's this is a little bit fascinating because the Raiders have been stumbling a little bit, and they've done that. They did that last season, if you remember. The Jaguars went out and beat them, had a chance to make the playoffs and faded. They've lost, I think it's 4 or 5 now, so they're fading again. It feels like that will continue. It feels like the Dolphins are one of those solid teams that are almost sneaky solid that you don't really think about. Then all of a sudden you look up at the end of the year, they're 11-5 or 12-4, and they're really, I think 11-5 is their possibility. So I think the Dolphins win this, but it's desperate team in the Raiders, and that's always dangerous. But I'll go with Dolphins here. I think they're pretty good.
I like it. Dolphins having a great year. All right, I have Indianapolis Colts and Pittsburgh Steelers. What the heck has happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers? On a losing streak, they have their wide receivers dancing on logos. It's all this drama in Pittsburgh, and everyone is wondering, is this team even legit anymore? When they were the only undefeated team at one point. The Indianapolis Colts looking for the lead in the AFC South over the Titans. And I think the Colts are going to get it done this week. And Brian, if they do, I'm not going to turn on SportsCenter. I'm not going to turn on First Take because they will rip the Steelers apart if they lose another one.
I think it's going to set up really interesting in the AFC South. I think it'll come down to the final Sunday of the season because the Titans have to go into Green Bay and the Colts have to go into Pittsburgh. I don't think either one of them are going to win, and I think each of them are going to have to win on the final Sunday. I think that'll be fascinating football to watch.
That will be exciting. And that is Pick One and Pick It. And that is our show on Christmas Eve. We wish all of you a very Merry Christmas to our producer Trent and our lovely audio man Joe Fortunato. And you guys, have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you Monday.
Merry Christmas, Shalane, Brian.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Have a great day. Have a great Christmas. We'll see you Monday.